The Alabama Cable Network is proud to present the Alabama Car Network, featuring auto clubs and auto shows from all around the state. This program will highlight the best vehicles and organizations you will find anywhere and feature the charities they help with these exciting functions. Tune in each Saturday at 5 and 10 p.m., Sunday at noon, and several other times during the week for our exclusive presentation of the Alabama Car Network over ACN on Charter Channel 80 and streamed live on the AlabamaCableNetwork.com. On April 30th, we will present the Dixie Vintage Antique Automobile Club that was taped at Oak Mountain State Park. And then on May 14th, you can see the Vet Spectacular presented by the Alabama Corvette Club, taped at the Zamora Shrine Temple in Birmingham. Other shows will follow every 2 weeks through the summer of 2016. Now, here's today's program.
Hello, I'm Pat Longworth, and welcome to the Dixie Vintage Antique Automobile Club. We are here at Oak Mountain State Park for an annual event, and I'm honored to have Gary Adams with me. Gary Adams, tell me a little bit about your role with this club.
I joined the club in about 94, and I've been in the club ever since, of course. The club was founded in 1959. And Henry Brooks, who is not here, is one of the founding members, but he's still active in the club. We support Travelers Aid as a charity each year, and the show is designed to raise money for Travelers Aid. And today we're having a good outcoming, so things are looking great.
How many people, how many cars do you anticipate?
We expect 125 cars, and I think we've about reached that. The sun's shining. It's a great day, and we've had a good turnout.
And they're vintage and classic?
Mostly vintage, street rods, modifieds, a lot of Model A's and T's, and a lot of original cars.
Well, we would love to see your car.
Okay. It's right here behind me. It's a 55 Ford convertible. And the car was sold new here in Birmingham, and I bought it in 2002, excuse me.
1902, you said you weren't that old.
Yeah, that's right, thank you. 2002. And so it's been restored kind of, but it is a driver, it gets driven a lot, so.
You say restored kind of, does that mean all the numbers match under the hood?
Oh yeah, it's got the original engine and transmission, it's been repainted, everything's been rebuilt. And it runs and drives good.
Well, we would like a closer shot of it.
Okay, great. Let me get out of the way and we'll pop the hood. Yes, this car has a 292 engine in it, and that's the original engine. It's got a 4-barrel carburetor, automatic 4-automatic transmission. Runs and drives good. It does have power steering. I wish it had power brakes. It does not, but the top goes up and down, and everything works good on it.
What's the last thing that you did to the car?
I took the fenders off and had the firewall, the inner fenders painted, the radiator, the shroud, and that type thing. It's pretty much done for the time being. I hope I don't have to spend any more money on it. It's ready to go.
And is this a driver then?
Oh, yes.
Do you turn heads when you drive down the highway?
If the top's down, it turns some heads. It does, absolutely.
You have any grandchildren who clamor to get in this car?
Yes, I have 7 grandchildren, and they love to ride in it.
All right, Gary, tell me a little bit about the interior.
All right, of course, it's red and white. And this is the original interior, original type interior that it had. It certainly does not have air conditioning. You need a top down for that, but it's AM radio. Everything works on the car. It's been completely restored inside as outside as well.
Do you know how many owners?
Yes, this car has had 3 owners, and a friend of mine worked for Continental Gin, and he worked with the owner of this car, and years ago he told me that it was for sale, and fortunately I was able to go up there and look at it in the barn, that he had sold it to one person and got it back or something, and so I ended up with it. But I have the original paperwork on it where he bought it from the dealer.
Well, it is a beautiful car, and I think that if you take care of things, they'll take care of you, and that's precisely what you've done. And again, how long have you owned it?
2002 is when I purchased the car.
Any plans of selling it?
No, I couldn't part with it, I don't think. very, very important to the family, and we'd sure miss it.
Thank you very much, Gary.
Thank you.
Bruce Burnett, you're next on the roster. And tell me about your car. It's beautiful, by the way.
It's a 1955 Chevrolet Nomad wagon. They made a little over 8,000 of these, kind of a rare car to come up with.
8,000 is how much they made? How many they made?
Just over 8,000. The numbers are not definite, but around from 8,100 to 8,300 is what they made for that year.
Were they manufactured in what part of the country?
This car here was manufactured in St. Louis, Missouri.
So did they have any rust problems?
Yes, over time the lower quarters seemed to rust on them and doors, but this is a very solid car.
And how long have you owned it?
Approximately a year. I bought it done, ready to go.
Oh, okay. So you've done no restoration on it?
No, I've replaced the radiator and some different running gear parts on the car since I've had it.
And we're going to be looking under the hood, so do all the numbers match?
No, ma'am. It's a totally modified car. It's a 350 crate motor that's pretty much stock, around 300 horse, has a mild cam in it. Vintage air conditioning has been added to it, and power steering and power disc brakes, and upgraded electrical with alternator. It
is beautiful, and you're going to keep it.
Yes, ma'am. I'd looked for this car for approximately 20 years. It's the exact color and everything that I wanted, so I plan to hang on to it for a while.
Head to Carl Cannon. Their dream team makes it real easy to do business.
Hello, my name is Tommy Parrish with Carl Cannon Chevrolet, Cadillac, Buick, GMC in Jasper, Alabama. Today's featured car is going to be the 2015 Chevy Impala. This car is a GM certified vehicle, and for it to be certified, we do a 12 months, 12,000 mile bumper to bumper, 172 point inspection. And by doing that, we extend the warranty out to 48 months, 48,000 miles, and you also have a 6-year, 100,000 mile warranty on the powertrain warranty. We have a great selection of certified vehicles. Come by and see me, Tommy Parrish, at Carl Cannon Chevrolet. The number is 205-384-5561.
Other dealers can't? Cannon can.
Carl Cannon, Chevy, Buick, GMC, Cadillac in Jasper.
Leo and Susie's famous Green Top Barbecue has been serving up the South's best barbecue for more than 50 years. Made famous for their hickory smoked barbecue sandwiches and big tasty cheeseburgers, Green Top is sure to satisfy your hunger. Enjoy your meal while watching a game or call in for carryout. They also provide catering for any size party or occasion. For fast, friendly service and good old-fashioned barbecue, Green Top is simply the best.
We have with us a Studebaker owner, Ron Acton. Ron, tell me a little bit about your Champ.
Well, it's unique in many ways. It came off the assembly line 2 weeks before they shut the plant down in December of 1963. So it's sort of a rarity in that regard. The other thing about these Champ Studebakers, they started making those in 1963, is that the company was struggling at the time, so they took a 4-door 59 Lark, Studebaker Lark. So this part of the body forward is identical to a 59 4-door Lark. If you look at that 59 station wagon over there, you can see it's identical to that, the body that is. So it has some unique features, and they bought the dies for the bed from Dodge. So that's the reason this bed doesn't exactly fit. So they were sort of piecing together at the end, trying to struggle through and keep the company going, but it shut down in South Bend, Indiana in 1963.
Does everyone always ask you, is that an aftermarket truck bed?
No, it's not aftermarket. I mean, they were on a fleet side Dodge at that time, but they bought the dies for the sides. Now the tailgate is unique to Studebaker. It has a Studebaker logo on it.
So what makes you interested in Studebakers?
Well, the first car I had in high school was a 1947 Studebaker business coupe that I sort of had it trunk shaved and the hood shaved and fixed it up and everything. So I've actually been a fan ever since, and I have 5. And I've got a 47 business coupe, but I hadn't got it ready to roll yet.
So what have you done to this vehicle?
Nothing. This is absolutely original. The only thing that's not original is this cover. But if you look on the inside, the air conditioning, the upholstery, and everything is absolutely new old stock original material. So it's the same as it was when it came off the assembly line.
So did they ever use these trucks to pull stumps out of the ground?
I'm sure they did. They were most pickup truck were work trucks, and so I'm sure that one time it did. This actually car was delivered to Harriman, Tennessee, when it came off the assembly line, and it ended up in Huntsville, and I bought it from a local guy here in McCalla, Alabama.
Is there a big market for Studebaker Champ trucks?
Well, I wouldn't say there's a big market. If you're a Studebaker person, they are, sort of desirable, but it's like everything else. You sort of have an affinity for the cars you grew up with or the cars you first had and so forth. So in the Studebaker community, yes, they're very much desirable.
Did I hear tell that Studebaker actually goes back as far as the wagons pulled by horses?
The Studebaker brothers, they started out in business as blacksmiths, and then they started making wagons and so forth, and they made a lot of the Conestoga wagons that was they used to go out west when they had the gold rush and when people were migrating there. As a matter of fact, those station wagon is called a Conestoga. There's an interesting, there were 4 or 5 brothers. There's an interesting story about one of the brothers, Johnny Studebaker. He decided he'd go out and make his fortune in the gold mining period when they had the gold rush in California. He got out there, but as it turned out, he being from the blacksmith family, he started making wheelbarrows, and he actually made more money making wheelbarrows than people mining gold. So he came back and used those resources to buy into the company, and he was called Johnny Wheelbarrow from that point on.
And Studebakers were not just family cars. They also got into a little sportier edition, didn't they, at one point?
Well, they made the Avanti, which was really a unique thing, but a lot of people don't know the other thing Studebaker did. During World War II, as a lot of automobile manufacturers, Studebaker made fine trucks, these big, deuce and a half trucks they call them, and they made them for the Army, but most of them were shipped to Russia. And to this day, Russians call a truck a Studebaker. And they actually reversed engineering, and today they have trucks that look very much like the Studebaker trucks they received. They also made the Wright Cyclone engine for the B-17 bomber. And on the back here, you can see a magazine article that I had before I restored this truck, where I've got it in front of a B-17 bomber. I was fortunate enough, my wife I'm a pilot, bought me time. I flew that B-17 bomber that day, and then I drove my Studebaker truck out there and got a picture in front of it. And that bomber still had 3 of the original Studebaker engines on it.
Wow, that is an interesting story. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you.
We have with us Rick Kilgore, who owns a 1956.
This is a Bel Air 56 two-door hardtop.
Are you the original owner?
No, I've had the car about 10 years.
10 years. You know, my daddy drove one many years ago, and we drove it through White Sands Proving Ground, so I sort of glow at night.
Right. Yeah, this car pretty much was a shell when I got it. And I was in a club, and I've had several people that have assisted me, helped me restore the car, put it back to the condition it's in right now.
So you have a place at home that you just work on the car, or you take it out?
No, I have a place at home that I have some other cars that I'm also building, and the colors are the colors that my wife picked out, and so we've got all our cars painted the same color.
Now, I know my daddy's Bel Air was not this color. That's quite a paint job.
Yeah, it's a little different. As I say, these are colors that my wife picked out, and when she originally presented it to me, said we need to paint it purple, I said, I don't think so. But as it turned out, it was pretty nice.
And what about under the hood? Everything original, or?
Well, it's an original motor, and I've done a little sprucing up on it, chromed it up a little bit, so it's a little cleaner than when it came off the showroom floor.
And definitely a driver.
Yes, I drive this car everywhere.
That's great. And no plans of moving it on to your family, or what are your plans for the car?
Well, my children and my grandchildren are already picking the cars out that they want, so I assume it'll stay in the family.
That's great. Anything else you want to tell me about this car?
We just have a lot of fun in this car. We do go a lot of places in it throughout the Southeast, and we enjoy the friendship and the many people who are involved in these old classic cars, and they're just great people to be around.
Well, it sounds like you're a great person too. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Economic professor. We'll do that. But you'll never know it from him talking about that car.
He's going to bring a Model A around too, so we'll have that one.
Yeah, great.
That's good.
We have Jim Barrett in his 1939 Chevy. Jim, tell me a little bit about your beautiful vehicle.
Thank you. A friend of mine built this. He finished it in 1989, and his health deteriorated, and he couldn't drive and get out anymore. So about 3 years ago, he offered to sell it to me. And I have my father's 1960 Porsche, and I asked this gentleman, I said, why would you want to sell me your Chevrolet? He said, I know how you take care of your dad's car. I think you'll take care of mine for me. But I'm very fortunate, and we've really enjoyed it.
What are some of the experiences you've had as you've owned this car?
Best experience is my wife will at least ride with me in this one because it has an air conditioner. My other car is not air conditioned. But we've been to Knoxville, Biloxi, we've even been to Jackson and Dallas, Texas, going to car shows in it. And it runs and performs and rides well. So
you haven't done any mechanical work to the vehicle?
No, ma'am, not since I got it.
No kidding. Wow.
No kidding. He did a real good job building the car.
I see you have a great big A on the side of it.
Yes, ma'am. I attended the University of Alabama, and my wife had this painted on it when we were in Biloxi last fall at a car show. I've had several folks tell me it needed to be an Auburn A. I said, well, you can paint over it if you want to. We have fun with it.
And I also understand that you have some knowledge of the owner of Alabama Cable Network.
We grew up together, went to high school together, and I had not seen Don in years till he walked up a while ago and said, I'm Don Early. I said, you sure are, and I'm Jim Baird, and I took my glasses off. He said, yeah, you are. So it's been a while.
You know, he is a car enthusiast as well.
Yes, ma'am, I'm aware of that. And he has some fine automobiles, too.
Okay, let's talk about the interior
it's
here.
350 Chevrolet. They call them crate engines. Back in 1989, not too many people were ordering new factory engines to put in hot rods. This was one of the first in the state of Alabama, as I understand it. It also has what they call a 350 matching automatic transmission. And I've not had to do a thing but drive it and change oil. Keep it running a little bit.
Well, it's definitely a beautiful driver, and thank you so much for showing us this. Anything on the interior that you want to point out?
Sure. The original owner had a nameplate put on the dash with his name and his wife's name. I just hadn't had the heart to change that out. I'll probably leave it just like it is. But the interior itself, the inside of the door panel's got 39 on it. I thought that was kind of neat. And got bucket seats. He did a good job on building the car.
So the person who did your interior, he put the 39 in as an afterthought?
Yes, ma'am.
So it was not something that was specific to this car when it was made?
No, oh heavens, no. No, nothing to the interior of this car was specific to the original. But they did a real good job with it.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, dear.
Head to Carl Cannon. Their dream team makes it real easy to do business.
This is Tyler Herron at Carl Cannon Chevrolet, Buick, Cadillac, and GMC. Did you see behind me, I got one of our Z71 Chevrolet Silverados. We have many like it. This is actually a Tuscany truck. It has a lift kit and the aftermarket wheels and tires. We are a Tuscany dealer. Come down and see us in Jasper, Alabama, and Carl Cannon Boulevard off exit 65, or you can give us a call at 205-384-5561.
Other dealers can't? Cannon can.
Carl Cannon, Chevy, Buick, GMC, Cadillac in Jasper.
We have with us Jennings Marshall, and he has a very unusual story to tell us about his Model A Speedster.
All right, this Model A Speedster is a 1931, but there's a lot of other car parts to it. If you look back here, this is the hood from a 1970 Jeep. I had built a Jeep and had some leftover parts, and so the back of my Speedster is a 1970 Model A hood. Then I needed to have sides for the car. And I thought, what can I use to make the sides of the car? Well, I took the front fenders from the 70 Jeep, turned them upside down. So these are upside down front fenders. Then I had some more leftover sheet metal, so I fabricated the sides of the car with the rest of the leftover sheet metal. Then the front of the car is a 1928 Model A hood, and then this is just some scrap metal. I went to the junkyard and cut the top off a Buick to make the cowl. That's called a cowl with cars. And then this back here is 1938 Ford wheels. The brakes are 1940 Ford. I had a spare tire on to begin with, but I decided I'd like a trunk. So I built this trunk, and I carved the Ford logo in the trunk and put the trunk on the back. Gas tank's a Model T gas tank. And then the engine is a 1950 flathead Ford V8 engine. And I'll raise the hood now. And then the headlights are called guide headlights. They were made in 1940. And then the frame is a Model A frame. It's been boxed in. Well, some people have talked about Johnny Cash's car. I stole it one part at a time. I didn't steal any of the parts, but I did make it with scraps to save money. Well, I'm a dyslexic. And dyslexics can visualize things. And people say, did you have plans? Is it a kit car? I say, no, I just sat down in my basement and I looked at a bunch of scraps and I thought, I could see how they'd all go together, and so I just built it with being able to just to see it in my mind. I never drew any particular drawings or anything else. I never saw anything like it. I just said, hey, I could do this, I could do that. That would all go together. That would work. And it did.
So did you have to go to any junkyards to find some of the parts and pieces, or did you just have them lying around?
Well, I had the Jeep parts lying around from when I did a project on a Jeep. I put a 1970 Jeep body on an 81 Jeep chassis, and I had the leftover hood and fenders from that project. I did go to the junkyard and cut the top off the Buick for the scrap metal there. The rest of the parts I just scavenged or already had. The lumber the car's made out of came off my farm. It's 1962. I had some timber cut. I've been hauling that wood around ever since, and I put some of it in the car. So the lumber in the car is oak and cherry lumber.
When did you finish this project?
I started it in 2007, and I finished it in 2009, but that was with a Model A engine. Then I decided to put the flathead in it, so I tore the whole car all the way apart, down to the frame, boxed the frame, put it all back together, and that took about 1.5 years. And then I rolled it out of my garage to start it for the very first time. I hit the starter button, and I was standing next to the car. It was in reverse when it started. It took off across my driveway and plowed right into my other Model A Ford, caved the front of that car in. I'm chasing it, and I managed to catch up with it because it pushed my other car into a neighbor's tree. So by the time I caught up with everything, the back of this car has been smashed in, the front of my other Model A was smashed, and the back of my Model A was smashed. There's two kinds of people in the car hobby. They're the ones that like to, buy and trade cars, and they're the ones that like to piddle with them. And I'm a piddler. I like to work on them. That's what I enjoy. I'm currently restoring a 1948 Willys Jeepster, and I just stripped all the paint off and got it in primer. I've already finished all the mechanical work on it, so it should be on the road in, maybe 6 months.
Is that going to be modified?
No, it's a stock. It's all stock. But I think the next one I'm going to tackle may be a real hot rod as opposed to a modified speedster. This is a cherry dash, cherry lumber from my farm. I have just planed it out and then had to drill the holes to fit all the instruments to it. And then when you come back here to the back, you can see the very back. I have oak, and then I decided I didn't want all oak, so I alternated oak, cherry, and so forth. And you just couldn't put them together and make them look right, so I put little strips of aluminum in between. And then I built this trunk, and I carved the Ford logo in the trunk, and I carved the Speedster down here. The bottom where the Speedster is cherry. The Ford logo's carved in oak. I didn't know what logo I'd want, so I also carved the Ford logo in another board, the other way Ford logo appears. And I like the oval one better, but didn't want to waste that one, so I put it on the inside of the car.
We have with us Steve Kuchar, who has his fabulous Pontiac. Tell me a little bit about this car, Steve.
It's a 1971 Pontiac Trans Am. It's all numbers matching. My son and I restored it together. So it was a 4-year project. We got it when he was 14, and we were able to finish it, and he actually brought it to a senior prom.
So you don't look old enough to have a son old enough to work on this with you. Did your son enjoy it?
He did. He learned a lot. They only made 2,100 of these cars in 1971, and only 10% of them were blue. So it's essentially a really rare car, and it's, as you know, all numbers matching.
I was going to ask that as my next question. Tell me a little bit about the engine.
It is a 455 HO, so it's got the round port heads, and it's one of the best motors Pontiac ever made. It's won quite a few awards. It's won *1 at World of Wheels 2 times, Best in Show. It's actually done a trip down to Kissimmee, Florida, to Meekum. So it's been on quite a few road trips up to Gadsden, so we get it around.
So how fast have you had it going?
I'm on camera. I'd rather not say.
I just know that the guys who are watching this show are all salivating because that is a primo muscle car. Tell me about the interior.
We've restored the interior, so it's all new carpet, all new seat covers. The dash was done, so The car was painted. That's the only thing we didn't do is the paint. Impatient Creations did the paint.
And this is the original color?
It's the original color, those decals, everything is original. The only thing that this would look different from 1971 are actually the radial tires on it. That's what's called a shaker hood scoop, and actually that one, after you get through half throttle, the back of it opens up for cold air.
Thank you so much, Steve.
Thank you.
Woo, thank you, Steve.
158, 35, and 41.
We have with us Charlie Faulkner with his Model A, and it's a fancy name, isn't it? A cabriolet?
That's exactly right.
Tell me about that.
It's a car that's they call it an open car because it has a convertible top, but it also has roll-up windows, so it's nicer to be in if it's raining.
Tell me what year this is?
It's 1929. Well, I have modern cars. This is my only older car.
And what drew you to this one?
Well, when I was in high school, there was a boy across the street from me that had a Model A, and I always wanted one, and I didn't get one until I was about 55. But like a lot of originals, it's got a few little tweaks on it, but the tweaks it has on it don't show up in the way it looks.
What kind of tweaks? I'm just curious.
Well, originally this car had brakes that were mechanical brakes like you have on a bicycle, and I put hydraulic brakes on it like you have on a modern car. It makes it stop better. It also had a transmission that wasn't synchronized, and so it grinds a little bit, so I put a synchronized transmission in it. And then the lights were a little dim with 6 volts, so I put 12-volt lights, that kind of thing, but they don't really show up that much. It's fun to drive. It's not meant to be driven fast. You can drive it 45, 50, 55. I wouldn't want to drive it much faster because the fenders on the front act like wings on an airplane, and it'll start lifting up a little bit if you're not real careful. So I think 55 is plenty.
And what special events have you had your car to?
Well, I just now got it finished. I worked on it probably for 8 or 9 years, and I've just had it finished in the last couple of months, and so I'm here at this event today, and I've been on a couple other rides with the Model A Club here in Birmingham. So it's kind of fun. There's a bunch of people that have similar interests.
And is this something that you will continue to work on, or are you finished with it?
Well, I think I'm pretty much finished with it. However, it is mechanical, and like all mechanical things, they do break occasionally, so I'm sure I'll get an opportunity to repair it.
So you do all the mechanicals yourself?
The ones I can, and the other ones, there's plenty of people that'd be glad to do it, because a Model A is kind of like a Mustang. There are parts everywhere for them.
Really? Yeah. Now, I would not have thought that.
Sold millions of them.
And where were they originally built? Where was the factory?
Dearborn, Michigan, yeah. And because there are parts everywhere, fenders, body parts everywhere.
Charlie, you were telling me about the motor. So this is a 1929, and what year is that motor?
That's a 1932 motor, and originally these cars had about 45, 48 horsepower. So this is a 1932 motor with a few things added to it that gets it up to around maybe 70 horsepower. And what that does, it doesn't make it a hot rod, it just makes it more reliable on the road.
At least twice a day, 5 and 10 p.m. We have with us Joe Alfano, who has a 1949 Chevy truck. And I'm going to let him give us the details. It's quite interesting. Hi, Joe. Tell me a little bit about your truck.
I purchased a truck out of here in Alabama. It originated from Montana. I'm the third owner, I believe. I'm trying to research it. But I've got, it was purchased by Francis and Margaret Kentuck of Montana, because I've got the tag receipts. And he, matter of fact, he even kept a log of his gas, how much he purchased every month and a year, and oil and gas and everything. Is quite interesting. He's logged everything in. He was quite meticulous about what he did with this truck. And I bought it here in Alabama, that he had it restored. I can't say that I did anything else, but I've made the wooden rails on the back and put new bumpers on it and put gas in it and drive it. So I can't take any credit for any other restorations on it except cleaning it up. It's got a straight six original motor and transmission. It's got a 4 on the floor, which I understand is unusual. Most of 3 on the tree on the column, but it's a very strong motor, nice and slow and strong. So it's fun to drive.
So tell me a little bit about this record book. It looks very original.
Yes, every month he'd log in the amount of gas that he purchased. You can see for the month of August in 1949, he bought $6.50 worth of gas the entire month. And it goes on here in September. Looks like he had an oil change, and I think his total went up to $35, I think. So it's $35.46. So it's change oil and gas for that month. So he logged everything in. So it's got little notes here. I'd love to read it. I'm trying to research. There's still a family in Anaconda, Montana by that name, and I'm trying to link them up on Facebook and find them, but no luck yet. I've also got he kept all his receipts when he bought his tag. I've got their names. His name was Francis and Margaret. So it's I've not quite been able to locate the family, but I've got their name. It should be easy. It should be able to find them. So he spent $16.72 for a tag that year. So it's a very interesting truck. I'd love to find out how it ended up in Alabama.
We have Bob McCary, who has a 1941. I'll let you finish that up.
41 Ford Super Deluxe convertible.
And it is beautiful. So tell me a little bit about it.
Well, it's a car that, believe it or not, I bought when I was in high school out of a friend's barn for $35 down in Clanton, Alabama. And I've owned it now for 50-something years.
Have you worked on it the whole time?
Not the whole time. When I was a teenager, I turned it into what is known as a gasser and to go drag racing and put a different motor in, one thing and another, and with parts all piled in it. So we decided to do it, and we finally, decided to build it, and we did. And
I think that's a pretty good strategy on your part.
Yeah, I waited till she was ready to do it. Yeah.
So, are you the mechanic?
I have built before. I did do the engine and a lot of the work on the chassis that's underneath the car, but the car itself and the paint and everything that everybody raves about was done by Larry Griffey in Knoxville, Tennessee at Griffey's Hot Rods and Restorations. He built the car, and his brother Bobby did the interior, so I was just very fortunate to have them, to work on the car for me.
Have you won a lot of awards with this one?
Yes, ma'am, it has. I've shown this car, besides Birmingham and Chattanooga at the World of Wheels there, I've showed it in Nashville, Louisville, Kentucky, Columbus, Ohio, Pigeon Forge, Tennessee, and Hilton Head, South Carolina. And it's won in all those places. I think the biggest thing that stands out and everybody likes is the color and the paint. And I tell her that my wife actually picked this color out. We went hunting for paint one day, and we had picked out a Harley Davidson color called Black Cherry, but it just didn't look good when we test painted it. It wasn't what we wanted, and we found this. This is PPG color. It's a custom color called Cabernet.
And you did something very special with the car when you pulled up. It went up and it went down.
Yeah, it has air ride suspension on it. It's sitting down right now. It's got different heights. When I pulled up, it was at ride height, and then I let it down to, drop it down and all that air out. And then it's got another one that goes up even higher. But we don't want to do all that.
Well, we would like to see the under the hood and then the interior, okay. and we'll let you do the air for us before you leave.
Okay, 87, 140.
Leo and Susie's famous Green Top Barbecue has been serving up the South's best barbecue for more than 50 years. Made famous for their hickory smoked barbecue sandwiches and big, tasty cheeseburgers, Green Top is sure to satisfy your hunger. Enjoy your meal while watching a game or call in for carryout. They also provide catering for any size party or occasion. For fast, friendly service and good old-fashioned barbecue, Green Top is simply the best.
Head to Carl Cannon. Their dream team makes it real easy to do business.
How you doing today, folks? I'm Jim Fincher with Carl Cannon, Chevrolet, Buick, GMC, and Cadillac. Listen, we have new, we have pre-owned, and we have certified pre-owned. So if you're looking for a good quality car at affordable pricing, come on down to Carl Cannon at 299 Carl Cannon Boulevard in Jasper, Alabama. Or just give us a quick call at 205-384-5561. Thank you so much, and we'll see you soon.
Other dealers can't? Cannon can.
Carl Cannon, Chevy, Buick, GMC, Cadillac in Jasper.
We have with us Diane Parks with a 1957 Thunderbird, one of my favorite cars. Tell me a little bit about it. When did you buy this car? When did you acquire it, I should say?
All right, well, I just got the car this fall, so I'm still in awe. Takes my breath away still when I look at it. And I just started driving it. This is my first car show, and we drove from Logan Mountain Lake over by the dam. Okay. And so it's his first long road trip, and it drove beautiful. You know, very powerful and very heavy. Okay, the steering wheel, as you can see, is the original steering wheel. It tilts. It can go both ways. It's a little hard for a great big guy to get in, but it's perfect for the girls. It's got the silver and white, which I love. And on the seatbelts, of course, these cars didn't come with seatbelts back then. So I thought, well, I don't want the black seatbelts. I want something that pops. So I got the these nice red ones that are girly girl. So automatic, I wanted an automatic on purpose. I didn't want to be shifting around. I mean, this is a cruise the drag car. I just wanted to sit back and enjoy myself. I've got all kinds of old-time rock and roll cassettes. Yeah, one of the things I love about this car is the little T-birds are all in here. You see in the upholstery. And I don't think a lot of the T-birds still have that. And I think that's real original. I think I like that a lot. But what attracted me was the fins and the porthole. That's what really got me. I love the front end. I like it. It's real long. It's actually longer than some of the bigger cars. Has a nice long look. I think that part of it's real pretty as well. I really love that. And, of course, the T-birds. You see all the T-birds on it. The T-bird on the grill and the T-birds everywhere. And they all have the aquamarine color in the bird thing. No matter what color it is. Yeah, no matter what color it is. Even the engine, when you look at that also has the aquamarine color, which is my probably second favorite color. But I'm real happy with this color. I like a two-tone. I think it's
very sporty.
Yeah, I think it's a little more interesting than one-colored cars. Yes. Okay. You notice the Thunderbird on the engine. It's on both sides. Of course, all T-bird people know that. But you see how it's the same aquamarine?
It is.
It's going to be on both sides. I saw it and I'm like, wow, I love it. I didn't try to negotiate any. I mean, you know how you should say, well, I don't know, and kick the tires. Not me. I'm like, wow. I loved it. So drives beautiful. Because that's true. You want to get where you're going to go.
That's right. That's right. So it's a safe driver.
It's a very safe driver. It feels more secure that we have a new Camry. I don't feel anywhere near as safe as I do in this car because it seems so strong.
Thank you, Boston.
This is a completely original car. It's never had anything done.
Jerry Tippett is with us, and we have its 1965 Impala Chevy. And tell me a little bit about the history of this car.
Okay, this car was a one-owner car. It was bought new in 1965 from Stokes Chevrolet in Clannon by Mr. Sam Collins. I was able to buy it just a few weeks ago, and And it is a one-owner car with 84,000 actual miles.
How much research did you do on it before you bought it?
Well, I've known the daughter that inherited the car for several years, and I talked to her husband for several years about buying it, and they decided to sell it a while back, and I managed to buy it. Well, again, it's all original car. It's a 327, 300 horse, full-barrel dual exhaust, power steering, air conditioning vehicle, and it's all original. Interior's original, and
So you took the magnifying glass in there and you made sure all the numbers matched.
It's a matching numbers car, yes, ma'am.
And, well, how many of these were made? Do you know?
I don't have a clue. I surely don't.
I bet the next owner of this car will do a little bit of that history background and check into that.
Could be.
So what are some of the comments you've gotten on it?
Well, everybody talks about what good a shape it's in, which it is, and it drives and rides as good as it looks, and it's just a very nice original car and a good driver. Anybody just wanting to get into the antique car business, it'll make a fine car.
So how old does a car have to be classified as antique?
35 years old.
35 years old. I think, when you take care of something, it takes care of you. Wouldn't you agree?
Yes, ma'am. This car, and I drove it from Clannon up here today, and it'll just cruise on 65 and 70 just like a top.
Well, it is a pleasure looking at and a pleasure talking with you. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me. Thank you.
Our next guest of honor is Bob Crone, and he is driving a 1965 Chevy Corvette.
This car I've had about 3 years, and I spent the first year and a half underneath of it fixing a lot of worn-out parts. But it is a complete car, and it has everything it was born with in 1965 numbers-wise, so it's called a numbers-matching car, which adds a little value to the car. A 300 horse, 4-speed, positive traction rear end. The side pipes, of course, so you don't need to buy a stereo because you wouldn't be able to hear it anyway. It does have power steering, and I just recently added power brakes because in 65 I don't think there was a big demand for power brakes, but there sure is now.
How rare is a Series 2?
Not too rare. They're very popular because a lot of people figure it was it was a big turning point in Chevrolet Corvette, which made it more of a sports car than the C1s, which was the original ones. But there's plenty of them around in various conditions, and there's various engine were available, big block engines, and this particular car is a small block, a 327. And we use it whenever we can on days like today, which is gorgeous.
Well, we would love to see under the hood. We'd love to see the interior and any comments that you might have that follow.
No, not really. It's pretty much everything's pretty much stock. Some upgrades on the engine that were actually options in 1965, so it still remains a numbers matching car. So
I bet you don't have much room under that engine for anything else.
No, it's got more room than you'd think, but
Really?
it's tight in there. But
Joseph Alfano, he's actually the father of a gentleman who was here earlier with a truck. But Joseph Alfano has a 1955
Buick Super Riviera.
I don't want to steal the show. How long have you owned this car? It is beautiful.
A year.
1 year. And do you drive it all the time?
Yes.
You don't trailer it at all?
No, that's not. We don't drive it all the time, just every week, little every week.
Who gets the honor of polishing this beautiful thing?
I got the honor. Yeah. That's too much work.
Have you done any of the mechanical work on it?
Yes, we have me and my son. We have.
You and your son Joe.
Right.
And what kind of comments do you get when you show up at shows with this?
Great. Most elderly people like this car more than anything.
Mostly elderly people?
Sure, and they love the car. They remember when they was kids, they see them around, and their father had one or something like that,
Oh, yeah.
Brings back memories.
Isn't that part of the magic of a classic car?
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Yes, sir. And have you won awards with this car?
No, not yet, but I'm looking forward to it.
Well, I'm certain that you will. Do you know how many cars were made of this model?
No, I do not.
Well, I don't either, so all I know is it is beautiful. May we see under the hood and inside?
You can.
All right. Any other things you want to say about the car?
No, I enjoyed it. That's best. I really enjoyed the car very much.
Does it drive smoothly?
Very good. And very smooth.
Oh, that's great. Well, we would love to see some more of it.
Sure.
Leo and Susie's famous Green Top Barbecue has been serving up the South's best barbecue for more than 50 years. Made famous for their hickory smoked barbecue sandwiches and big, tasty cheeseburgers, Green Top is sure to satisfy your hunger. Enjoy your meal while watching a game or call in for carryout. They also provide catering for any size party or occasion. For fast, friendly service and good old-fashioned barbecue, Green Top is simply the best.
Head to Carl Cannon. Their dream team makes it real easy to do business.
Hello everyone, and welcome to Carl Cannon Buick Cadillac GMC Chevrolet. My name is Joshua Salter, and would love to take this opportunity to show you the new 2016 Cadillac SRX. We've got some great promotions going on right now. Would love to help you get into a new car today. If you have any questions, please give us a call at 384-5561 or on my cell at 205-300-8364. Stop out and see us.
Other dealers can't? Cannon can.
Carl Cannon, Chevy Buick GMC Cadillac in Jasper.
And last but not least, we have Bill Armstrong with the 1929 Chevy Street Rod. Bill, tell me a little bit about your Street Rod.
It's completely redone from the ground up. It's got 23,000 miles on it since it's redone. And it's got a Mustang 2 front end under it, 350 motor, Chevrolet transmission rear end.
Did you do it all yourself?
No, ma'am. I did very little of it. I bought it about like it is.
And how long ago did you buy it?
I've had it 7 years.
7 years. And what drew you to it? Was it finished when you bought it?
I like the body style, and it was a Chevrolet.
Are you driven to drive street rods, or do you have any other classic cars?
I have a 64 Chevrolet Impala.
And what caused you to bring this one out today?
I guess it's my favorite.
And why is it your favorite?
Well, it's an older car, which is a 29 Chevrolet, there's not many of them left. You see a few Fords, but not many Chevrolets, that model and the body style. So it's kind of unique, and it's fun to drive.
Yeah, and have you had it to different shows, and have you won awards?
Yes, ma'am. I've won several little trophies with it, and we carried it to Panama City Emerald Coast Cruise year before last and stayed down there a week with it.
I bet that was fun.
It was. We had a great time.
And so you won in what category?
Street rod.
Street rod.
Yes, ma'am.
Of all the ones that went on that cruise, and yours won.
No, I didn't win down there. They didn't. I don't think they give anything away down there. They gave money tree, and I don't think they give trophies away down there. There's too many cars to compete down there.
Well, what else can you tell me about this car and the history?
I'm the third owner.
You're the third owner.
Yes, ma'am. Third owner.
And do you know the first owner?
No, I know the second owner, and he passed away 2 years after I bought the car from him. And when I bought it, he told me about it, and he told me the exact truth. And that's what you expect when you buy a car. You want the truth, and so he did. He was a great guy.
Well, you car owners are always the salt of the earth, and I always enjoy speaking with you.
That's where Money Creek comes from. That's where a lot of the
Well, folks, thank you for joining us. I hope you enjoyed the show. I'm Pat Longworth, and I do want to mention that this show was a special benefit for Travelers Aid of Birmingham. It's a program that provides transportation for people when they need a ride and they can't afford it, or they have problems getting to a place and they need extra help. So, again, thank you for joining us, and I hope to see you next year.
The Alabama Cable Network is proud to present the Alabama Car Network, featuring auto clubs and auto shows from all around the state. This program will highlight the best vehicles and organizations you will find anywhere and feature the charities they help with these exciting functions. Tune in each Saturday at 5 and 10 p.m., Sunday at noon, and several other times during the week for our exclusive presentation of the Alabama Car Network over ACN on Charter Channel 80 and streamed live on the AlabamaCableNetwork.com.